Welcome to the Wager Makers Podcast with Web and Smitt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Web.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Web.
Hello. What's up, Smith?
What's up, Web? I'm Smith. That's Web. We are the Wager Makers, and this is the Wager Market Podcast. Thank you all for joining us. This is turning into like a time capsule of our crazy lives here between COVID and everything. We're speaking to you Wednesday night, January 6th, with all kinds of another day with all kinds of civil American going to shit stuff going on. I don't know what to say.
Civil disobedience. It's embarrassing. It's almost embarrassing. The laughing stock of the world is America. I'm embarrassed.
It's sad, dude.
I feel bad for both my kids. The state of the affairs in this country. It's just shabbiness. You know, I'm not trying to bring the show down, but it's just fucking stupid. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's a fascist country almost. It's crazy. It's craziness.
It's tough, man. It's tough these days. It just seems like every day you wake up, you look at your phone for the next batch of news that's gonna fucking make you feel down about life or whatever in general. But hopefully we're not gonna. But here's the deal. That's the last you'll hear about that tonight of this.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Let's move on. Fuck that bullshit. Then we're gonna win some money. At least have solace in that you can fucking gamble every fucking day. Fuck the
We got
rest of the
college
bullshit.
basketball. We got NBA basketball.
Yeah.
We still got the college national championship.
Big
We got
time.
NFL playoffs. Who would have thought? I mean, way back when they started this
three
thing,
game Saturday, 3 game Sunday.
back in October, two triple headers we got. Coming up.
Right.
Who would have thought way back when? I mean, it was, we didn't know we'd get to this point. So kudos to the NFL, kudos to the NCAA for getting to this point. It was one thing to play NBA in a bubble or to play baseball with a lot less physical contact. But to get to this point where the season's over, we're in the playoffs and the national championship for football. We'll talk about some of those games. Just happy to have been able to get through this far. But anyway, Webb, it's Wager Maker Podcast number 76, and I got nobody for 76.
Number 76.
The great America 1776 was born.
Time flies, shit. Let's go back though. Let's not forget the NHL. They were very good to us. They definitely got us through some times there in their little, not bubble, whatever they were calling it. But they start, I think, a week from today, the 13th. I don't know what today is. So a week from today, we'll have some NHL picks for you. But anyways, number 76, Flozell the Hotel. Flozell Adams, number 76. Left tackle for the Troy Aikman Cowboys for a while. Very good player, Michigan State. He went to college. And it's funny, Smith, he was deaf in one ear, but it was not his left ear. So he played left tackle and was deaf in his right ear. So he played, I think, maybe 12, 13 years. I was more than happy with him as my left tackle. So I'll give him some props.
I would think you would want his good ear to be on the side of the quarterback. Like if he was a left tackle, you would think he'd be able to hear on this side. But
yeah, correct.
I got nothing for 76. You want to take Flozell Adams? Go knock yourself
the
out.
motel, baby. And then Smith, I just cracked a Miller Lite. We are not sponsored by Miller InBev or Miller Coors, but we could be, Smith. We could be.
Tastes great, Webb. Tastes great.
Less filling, 96 calories. There you go. We're naturals.
I figured because I'm the fat one, I gotta be the one that tastes
you
great.
haven't seen
I gotta
my
be the one
COVID.
that says tastes great.
The freshman 15, I got a COVID 30 going on over here.
I gotta
That's
get
why I'm all
myself
bundled
together.
up.
It's funny, like I kind of had New Year's resolution. I'm going to start getting healthy, do all this stuff. I'm winning bets, no more losing bets.
Right.
But then it was like the way the New Year fell. It was kind of like, well, you can't start that shit on like Saturday or Sunday. No. So maybe this week I'm hoping to get my things get going on. Yeah. So we'll see. But certainly New Year's Day, Webb. I think that was the day with the college playoff games. Certainly New Year's Day was not a good day for us.
Not kind to us. It took a turn. But we've been doing this shit 30 years, I'm going to say, easily. I'm 50 years old. More than that, probably. Definitely more than that. Anyways, there are some definite winners on there that we kind of got jobbed on. Again, just experience. Like the Cowboy over was a winner. That there's no way that game should have stayed under. That was some bullshit. And a couple of those college games as well. We had a fourth penalty and then a punt and then a fourth down and they get it. Just a bunch of bullshit went on. that you hardly, it's rare that you see it, and that perfect storm happened game after game. That whole entire week was kind of rough. So
I don't know. It was a rough week, but I mean, it's kind of started. The West Virginia was the first one we had big. The day, I think that was on New Year's Eve, I think it was, and West Virginia was laying like 6.5 to Army.
Yeah, college hoops, right? No, regular, right? Oh, that's another winner. That was a winner.
6.5. They ended up. The worst thing of all is when your team just doesn't show up, and then they win the game by 4, whatever they end up winning.
That
but
happened
had so many chances to win. That fumble before the half that the dude on West Virginia had was like ridiculous. They got the ball back with like 30 seconds left, and he's just like looking downfield, and Army knocks the ball out. And at that point, I think West Virginia was winning, but you're like, oh man, maybe if they get a little something here, they'll be like covering by halftime. And next thing you know, Army knocks the ball out. They score after the fumble, and then we go into New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and the first game is Georgia. And so, all right, well, Georgia, they can beat Cincinnati 7 points or whatever it was. Not even 7. Just the teams don't come to play. And then I got to be honest, Webb. I mean, first of all, you broke. I got to tell you, you broke the cardinal sin. One of the cardinal sins of. First of all, do you believe in jinx? Do you believe in a jinx? In jinxing?
Yeah, man, I'm a fucking gambler. I've been gambling fucking more than 95% of my life. Yeah, but that shit's bullshit. That's just because that's a fucking dude fucked up. I didn't jinx shit. Fuck that. No. So the answer is no.
All right. No, you don't believe you can jinx is what the thing.
I didn't jinx shit.
All right. Well, let me bring you back to the time that was that. It was Alabama was cover. I think they were laying 18, 19 points, something like that. They were winning by
19,
where one touchdown above if Notre Dame scores a touchdown, then they cover. Then Notre Dame covers. So so with about 3 minutes left in the game, I think 20. They were up 20 plus or something in covering, and it was 4th down. What happened at that point, Webb? You called me with congratulations of victory with 3 minutes left in the game.
I don't remember. It was like 75 bets ago. I have no idea. I don't remember.
Well, here's what happened.
You remember?
Right. Yes. Here's what happened.
Right.
With 3 minutes left in the game, it was 4th for Notre Dame, 4th and maybe 8 or 10, with a long 4th down conversion coming. They were losing by 20 plus, I believe, where Alabama would have covered. And you called me and said, "We got it. It's over. We got it. We win." Here's Frank Grabowski. Hey, talk to him a second, and I'm telling you, we won.
Yeah.
We won
that was a long day. That was a long day.
Yeah.
That was a long day.
And then, and when you called me, Notre Dame was going to punt, so that was going to be it. Alabama runs out the clock. That's it.
I remember calling you at least.
Yeah. Then you called me and said, "Man, we got one. We got a big one. It's good. We're good." And then when they come back from the commercial, Kelly decides to not punt, to go for it on 4th and 8, and then and they go for it, and they make it. And they go down the field, they score, we lose that one. And then
blame me for Alabama's defense not being able to stop a 4th and 8.
Well, that was a jinx. Do you watch the Dr. Pepper commercials on these shows where the guy he's in the courtroom? It's a good one now. He's in a courtroom, and he's on trial. It's those Dr. Pepper commercials where it's Fansville. So he's in the courtroom and he's on trial for jinx.
I don't watch anybody who's not a sponsor of ours.
All right, Dr. Pepper. Well, you might not watch a lot of shit then. And anyway, he's on trial for jinxing because he said that the dude's automatic. He's going to make it. It's automatic. So he's on trial, and the lady jumps out of the courtroom and says, "You never say that. You never say that." Well, you said it. 3 minutes left in the game.
Whatever.
I don't know if I'm making any sense at all.
Yeah, I don't know that it was quite that dramatic, but they definitely lost, and it was but you cannot blame me for no one stopping a 4th and 8, especially right. Alabama.
But of course, that rolls into at least we're like, man, Clemson. They're going to dominate Ohio State. Easy game.
That was another shocker. That was a shocker.
That was a shocker. To me, like laying 18 in Notre Dame and getting backdoor covered, that's just getting Notre Dame.
Well, that backdoor is right. That's a number in the playoffs. That backdoor is going to be open until, the final whistle. But I was big on, I didn't think Justin Fields, even just based on the thumb, I didn't know that he would even, and the defense showed up. So, I mean, that one definitely cold cocked me for sure.
Impressive victory, man. That running back is a beast on Ohio State. He's going to give Alabama some problems. Yeah, number 8.
Yeah, that's the kid. Yeah, the kid that hit out 300 yards the week before. Yeah, the Oklahoma transfer. Yeah, I mean,
he looks like a beast. He reminds me of Henry when he's running. I mean, he's a big old dude.
That big, is he?
He looks big out there, man. He looks big and bad. I don't know.
Well, he did his thing a couple weeks in a row. He's going to get drafted now.
We got our ass handed to us, and then all weekend. Then it just carried over. All weekend, NFL. We did a ton of NFL games. I tell you, Webb, every time I post all our NFL games, we get slaughtered.
Yeah, there's no way. Again, there were a couple games on there that were absolute winners. That West Virginia game, I don't know that Army threw the ball. They did throw the ball 3 times. How can you lose to a team that didn't throw the ball 4 times in the fucking game? I mean, it's unfathomable to me. Much respect to Army. That dude's a great coach, but they did it. That little miniature quarterback who kind of hides behind his center. I don't know. To me, it's
he's almost like
hard.
his ass is on the ground when he's taking the snap.
Yeah.
How do you even run out of the position?
We watched them. I was out with the boys, I guess, 2 weeks before with Belfi, Morgan, Nick Perone. It was disgusting. They couldn't score. They couldn't do anything. It was like watching paint dry. It was like watching, if your 7-year-old son was playing Pop Warner or something. It was, like, remember that game? You put them on the electric board. They just kind of bounce. They just go like this. It was the same thing in that game. So there was no way. And that's supposed to be a Big 12 team throwing the ball all over. You can't score fucking. I mean, don't get me started on that insanity.
All right. Same deal. Georgia. I don't want to go into. We don't have to go in every game. It was a terrible week. And then we got blown out in NFL just as bad. Went from top 10 basically all season long to got the doors blown off us in the last week. So, but we're here to tell you, we're going to be putting up our college NBA on Sports Watch Monitor all the time, almost daily. We'll be putting them out on our Instagram and all that stuff too, and Twitter.
And the Magic just won and covered, so I think we're 2-2 today so far. We lost by half a point twice.
Right.
So we have 2 college winner, NBA winner, and then 2 college losers by half a point, which I pushed on through my service. So,
all right. So talk about getting to the NFL. Webb, the NFL playoffs are all set, but before we get in a little bit, I want to get your take on what happened in the NFC East. Obviously, I watched that entire early game, the Cowboys and the Giants battling for a playoff spot. We all thought they were battling for a playoff spot. Ugly game. 2 teams didn't really want to win. The Giants end up getting on top.
Amazing, right? Amazing how those 2 teams they both shit the bed. It's Dallas Cowboys, the defense is horrible. Jalen Smith, I don't care. He had 75 tackles. I can make 15 yards past the line of scrimmage. It's horrendous. I don't know what they're doing there. It's always, again, it's almost like rooting for Al Qaeda being a Cowboy fan. It's horrendous. There's nothing there. It's all you're rooting for a brand. I'm rooting for Apple. I'm rooting for Nike. I'm rooting for Verizon. It sucks. It sucks. It just sucks. And they didn't shit the bed yet again, but it doesn't matter. Jerry Jones is bragging about that he had the most attendance in a pandemic. Oh, good, cool. You went 6-10, dude. Nice. But again, they'll be Forbes.
He would have had if they were in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, they'll be Forbes #1 again. I mean, next year. So that's really all that matters. It's style over substance.
Well, that brings us to the Sunday night.
I've been around.
Yeah, I didn't bring this up to harp on the Cowboys for like an hour. I'm trying to get. I'm getting somewhere with this.
From the Saints, we've been going for 90 minutes on the fucking Saints.
The Cowboys suck. That wasn't the point of this conversation.
Breeze, chasing hell.
Yeah, the point of the conversation wasn't that the Cowboys suck. We're all in agreement on that. That's something all America can get behind. All America can get behind it. The point is, so we get to Sunday night. We're thinking that game, the winner. Wow, it's fucking. We got this game with the Washington football team versus the Eagles, and it's gonna decide this shitty division. But at least it's for something. So Jalen Hurts comes out there, plays a really good 3 quarters. It's a good game, goes back and forth, and Peterson, your buddy up there in Philadelphia, decides to.
Fuck Philadelphia. And did Jalen Hurts really play that well? He played great. I mean, he played all right.
They were in the game.
Yes.
He scored 2 touchdowns.
They were in the game. Yes.
Before he got taken out, they could have kicked a field goal and been tied. Instead, they went for it on 4th down from the 5.
You're talking. I mean, that's gone on. The NFL's had some sketchy situations all season long.
All right. So they take Jalen Hurts out. They put the Studfeld in, whatever the fuck the guy's name is.
Studfeld, I think.
And basically the game was over at that point. Now, look, I'm a little bitter. I had the Washington football team laying 6.5, and they won by 6. It was almost like both teams decided at that point that nobody was going to do it. Like, I think Alex Smith threw an interception in the fourth quarter. I don't know if he passed the ball again the rest of the fourth quarter. They were just content running out the clock. But man, people are in an uproar over what happened at the end of this game. Do you have a take on this in any way, or what's?
I agree that it seemed like they just said, okay, we're done. Let's get the fuck out of here. I don't know that they were going to win that game either way. I don't know. Point of Tank. I don't understand what he did, but what was the advantage of the Eagles losing to the Eagles? A better spot?
I think by them losing, they maybe have the sixth draft pick instead of the 9th.
Versus what? Right. Okay. I mean, I guess that's better, but I mean, either way, they were gonna. I mean, they would rather. So let's say the Cowboys won that game, and the Eagles would have played. The Eagles like the Cowboys better than the Giants. They would have played harder to win. They wouldn't have tanked. Quote. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I don't think. I think they would tank regardless. Maybe. I don't know.
So I mean, I don't get. Listen, clearly it was crazy sketchy. I'm glad. I hate the Eagles. I love all the drama. I think it's wonderful, but I don't understand that. Clearly, again, something was fucked up. But I don't know to tank. Put that scrutiny in that that limelight's on you in that situation. To tank to get up 3 spots is to me is kind of just weird. Doesn't make sense.
Well, other than just screwing over, maybe he really has a problem with somebody, or the front office has more of a problem with the Giants than they do with the Cowboys or than they do with the Redskins. The Cowboys weren't even at that point.
If that, maybe. I mean, I guess, but I mean, I've never heard that. Maybe I don't know. But that again, that's a little fucked up thing. That's again, professional athletes to do that at that level at that point to me is still that's a stretch.
That's where, this is where I'm going with this thing is, to me, the professional sports, the NFL, this sucks because you play to win the fucking game, man. To quote Herman Edwards, you play to win the fucking game. The Eagles clearly were not playing the fourth quarter to win the fucking game. Now, for whatever the fucking reason was, whether it was to tank for a play for a thing or because maybe he's buddies with Ron Rivera. I don't know what the fuck it is, but to me, he did a disservice to the league, to the fans, to anyone who watches the game, and even to the Eagles players. There's been a lot of talk this year about dissent among the ranks in the Eagles locker room. Whether you're on Team Wentz or Team Hurts or Peterson has issues. I mean, to me, this is something. Unless this came from up top. This is something that, the Eagles players, to their credit, I was really impressed with how they played for the first 3 quarters, in that they played, at the very least, they played hard. And they were without a whole bunch of their guys. And they still went out and played hard and gave Washington everything they could. And then by the third quarter, it was just, once that dude went in there, it was the game. It was a fucking wrap.
Well, I mean, it's absolutely a black eye for the NFL, but let's just put that aside. I mean, the Eagles players, that's who the ultimate disrespect is to. These guys have been behind the 8 ball in terms of injuries and shit all fucking year, and they were up until I guess probably week 14 or maybe it was 15, 2 games to play in the season. They had a shot to win a division, so clearly they were out of it obviously at this point. But I don't know, man. That is just a disservice to put your guys out there. And tanking in football is a lot different than tanking in basketball, or maybe I don't even in baseball. You can get fucking, first of all, you get fucking hurt. Right. It's not like in basketball, you just do some Olay defense or just start jocking up threes or whatever it is. But you're playing a physical sport. That's blood, sweat, and tears literally on the field there. So the situation is undeniable. I don't understand. I can't get behind the reason for it. So that's the question I have. But the act and the situation is undeniable.
Right. That's how, to me, I think Peter, he fucked his own team to the point where this could be an issue for them.
There's
even
no doubt.
forward. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's been issues there. I used to work in Philly. There's been issues since they won the Super Bowl, which I guess is that 3
years now
removed.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's always been there's Wentz guys and Foles guys, and they had to get rid of Foles because you just can't do that. It can't function like that. And now you have literally the same thing. And we saw some, I guess Miles Sanders it was, who said that they were shocked that they made that move to Sudfeld. And then, Jason Kelsey's been there for a bazillion years, great center, came out and tried to backpedal just to save face, I think, just for his own mind. Said, no. But clearly, obviously, there's no doubt that shit was funky. I just can't figure out why they would do that.
Right. Because you're really not, and they're like, oh, we wanted to get a little look at Sudfeld. What are you getting a look at?
That's embarrassing. That's an embarrassing.
1 quarter left in the season. You ain't getting a look at anything,
That's
man.
Embarrassing.
Come on.
He's been on the team for how many years?
Right.
Are you gonna start next year with Sudfeld? You have a guy for $100 million on who's a number 2 pick in the draft.
Right. You have a decision to make next year at quarterback, and it's got nothing to do with Sudfeld.
Right. Odds are, well, maybe he'll be the number 3.
Right.
Maybe.
Right. So anyway, that was just but listen, let's be clear about this. There is none of this, what I'm saying, has anything to do with feeling bad for the Giants. You won 6 games this year. You don't belong in the playoffs, so don't cry.
Right.
I'm just talking about the integrity of the game, as far as fans, NFL, playing to win the games, things like that. I'm certainly not vouching for the Giants who won 6 games and they're complaining that they're not in the playoffs.
And Joe Judge better watch himself. Let's say next year he's in week 9 or whatever, or any year, and he's in week 14, 15, 16, and he's got a lead or he's got a lock on a division. And what happens if he pulls some guys or whatever goes on? So just shut the fuck up. You win 8 games, you win a division.
Yep.
So I don't want to hear that bullshit from the Giants neither.
But I could see this being a thing between the Giants and the Eagles moving forward. And at the very least, even if it isn't a thing amongst the players and the staffs, it will be in the media. So I could see that being the Monday Night Football game opening the season next year. Giants, Eagles go to the Giants or something like that.
That ain't no fucking way you have it. That ain't happening. No fucking way. Those are 2 shit teams. You're not gonna have a 6-10 team play a fucking 5 and
no opening night. It's too big markets.
That.
Too big markets.
Nah, fuck all that. Hell no.
Listen, and they'll do anything.
If they're going to do that, they'll put the Cowboys on.
The Cowboys getting bumped out of prime time towards the end of the season. They suck.
Not against some shabby ass 2 fucking teams.
All right. So the only thing that would have made that better, Webb, is if that happened and the Cowboys won in the afternoon. I bet you would have changed. You'd be changing your fucking tune right now.
I would be livid, but it wouldn't change anything. My team I would still say the same. If my team didn't suck and we win 8 games, it would have been moot. So I'm not even, don't get it twisted. I know where I'm at, but that was bullshit. But fuck the Eagles, fuck the Giants, and fuck the Redskins.
Well, there you go. All right, so moving on, we got the Heisman came out last night, Webb. Devontae Smith, I think well-deserved. Dude's just explosive, man. He moves faster than everybody else on the field.
I mean, where can you go wrong? The loss to Ohio State obviously killed Trevor Lawrence. Plus, he missed that game already. I mean, who else are you going to give it to? Mac Jones, I'm sure he stole some, it was just between who's on Ohio State, on Alabama was going to win it. No argument, literally no argument. The dude just became more and more remarkable as the season went on. So, good for him. I got no complaints one way or the other. Good for him. And the story's good. He was like the skinny recruit type thing. You see it on ESPN. And he is still skinny. The motherfucker got some crazy skinny legs.
Skinny as hell. They showed a funny picture with showed him standing against, that dumb picture they got of Tom Brady when he's in the combine. He's all gangly looking and shit like that. And it's the 2 of them together. And it looks he's kind of funny, but he's a fast dude, man. Super fast.
Yeah, his name is going to be called, right quick come April. So good for him.
Might be going to the Eagles at number 6 instead of number 9. Who knows? Maybe they were trying to move up to get.
It was all about that, yeah.
So we already got some NFL coach openings. Webb, the dude from San Diego, Lynn. We talked a lot about him. He's gone. And Let's see. The Jets finally got rid of the man up there.
Shock. That's the only bigger shock than that was that it came out today that Trevor Lawrence is going pro. Oh, thanks.
Right,
cool.
right.
Thanks for telling us.
Right. So do you have some good fits on some of these things, or?
I saw Jason Garrett is looking at, I think he's the leader in the clubhouse for San Diego. I do not wish that on them or that. I mean, you need someone. He gets his players play, but it's almost like paralysis by analysis. You're gonna be real good between the 20s, and there's gonna be all kinds of questionable game management shit. So, one interesting thing that I saw or heard a while back was Bill Belichick would be interested in that job. I know he's not whatever free or whatever, but that is something interesting. That to me is one of the most highly coveted jobs. Live in San Diego, first of all. Justin Herbert, that defense, right? And you got Keenan Allen, a couple of elite playmakers. So I don't know who. I think for them, I think Jason Garrett would be a mistake, but I don't know who else would be the front runner there.
Right. Also, I've seen some rumors about your boy Urban Meyer possibly going down to Jacksonville and meeting up with Trevor Lawrence. I don't know how.
That would be genius. That's a genius move. Give him the keys to the house, back away, and let the wins start piling in. I mean, you're going to have some work to do. You got to make sure you get the proper GM in there. That's kind of works hand in hand. You're on the same philosophy, same system, same type players. But you do have some couple of guys. I was reading about that. Their offensive line's pretty good. They got that running back that came out of nowhere for a couple more years. And their defense is decent. They got Miles Jack, and they drafted a corner, I think, in like 17 or something, a dude from Florida. There's pieces there that's going to be a quicker rebuild than it looks like.
People think. Right. All right. Any ideas who the Jets are looking at? I don't know what's going to go on out there. They need is a new GM and do everything, but they're not changing.
Douglas is going to stay there. So he's got ties to the Eagles. That's interesting. I don't know. I haven't heard too many rumors about that yet, but again, I think that's going to be an interesting job because their defense was okay, and you can have a real interesting decision to do at number 2. All
right. So before we get into Webb to the national championship and the college football playoff and the NFL playoffs, just a couple things that stood out from the games last week, man. The Dolphins, Webb, if they win, they're in. And I thought pretty much the Bills were set in their spot, whether it was going to be number 2 or 3, didn't really matter that much. And the Bills just come out and smoke the Dolphins. I don't know. I mean, I think going into next season, there's still a lot of questions with Tua, to be honest with you.
It's hard to argue with that, but again, I mean, I don't know how many games he played. He didn't start the season, maybe it's week 5 or 6. He doesn't, everyone throws around the word elite, elite arm talent, elite this, elite that. The motherfucker didn't lose in Alabama. That's first of all. He played in bazillion big games. Chan Gailey, who was the OC, just, I guess, resigned from the Dolphins. The jury's still out, but in what way would the jury not still be out? You're not going to blame Tua because he got replaced in the game before that. That happens in the NFL. He didn't play well. The guy came in and provided a spark, and he wasn't playing defense. What, they had a 45 or something on him? I mean, you can't
50. I think they
56
scored,
maybe. Yeah,
56.
And then that defense is what carried him all season. So, I mean, I think the jury would be out either way. But I get it. I get the doubts. But let's you got to at the same time you got to give the kid a chance. I mean, you gave Sam Darnold, who's one dick. I mean, we're working on year 3 here. So,
But to me, the Dolphins were within a game of being in the playoffs. And I know they probably know deep down they're not going to be in a Super Bowl, but you got to get there. What's better experience than for somebody to get there? That to me, Fitzpatrick had this offense working better most of the time he was in there than Tua did. I know they won some games with Tua and did some things, but I think the jury is definitely still out. I don't see him being an extraordinary runner. I don't see him being an extraordinary thrower. I don't know. I mean, it's early yet. It's only been half a season, it's easy with dudes like Herbert out there. It's easy to say, oh, this rookie's not doing it.
What has Herbert won? Well, he won a whole 4 games.
No, but Herbert's fucking playing ball. You don't agree with that?
I want results. How's Matthew Stafford look his whole 12-year career? How has, you want to run down guys that look good.
I think if the Chargers defense was as good as the Dolphins, the Herbert would be in the playoffs right now.
How could you say that? I mean, you don't know that. If my aunt had, he'd be my uncle. I mean, what the fuck? You can't say if some dude coached this team.
Okay, so you don't think Herbert had a better first season than Tua? Can we agree on that or no? You can't agree on that?
Yeah, but what does that mean? I don't know. So
we're comparing guys that came out the same time. We're comparing quarterbacks.
But you're not comparing teams. You're not saying you can't say if he was there, they would have won. That's you can't do that.
Okay, well, fine. What I'm saying is Herbert had a much better first year than Tua.
But that's not a big stretch. It was what the second pick or the first pick and the fourth pick or whatever it was. I mean, it's not crazy.
Well, yeah, but if we're gonna talk, I'm talking about.
Let's compare Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry, and whatever the fucking dude, Mike Williams to who the other dude's throwing to, and Austin Eckler, and the other guy.
But Fitzpatrick throws to the same dude as Tua does and moves the ball down the field.
How many games he win?
I don't know, few.
Right, and how many did Tua win?
Enough to get in the playoffs until Tua came in and started losing games.
5 each. Because Tua started week 5 or 6. Listen, I'm not defending, but you just telling the dude what's he supposed to do. He ain't playing defense.
All right. I'll say jury's out. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
The same thing. I don't mean that.
I'm disappointed in how the Dolphins came to play on the last game of the season. They got ass handed to them. That's the whole team. I get it's the whole team.
It ain't his fault. The fucking defense gave up 56 points to a team that had nothing to play for. Talk to fucking Xavier Howard and Byron Jones who are making gazillion dollars. Talk to the fucking head coach who's the toughest nails motherfucker. Come on now.
All right.
Fine, dude. Was fucking.
Dude, dude, you got something for this dude or what? You got a crush on this guy or what? What the fuck? You can't talk bad about Tua?
I'm just saying.
God damn, I know that's your guy and all, but fuck.
I'm just you gotta be fair, man.
You got something going on with this fucking dude or something.
Yeah, he's paying me. I'm gonna put a lay on here in a minute.
All right. All right. Moving on. The Browns needed one game against the Steelers backups to make it to the playoffs. And it was close. It was a nail biter, but they got the job done, Webb. They got the job done. But now they're going into the playoffs and they got all kinds of COVID. It's typical Browns fashion. They got all kinds of COVID issues going into this game this week.
They're going to get slaughtered this week too.
Yeah.
It was said, like the dude, what's Stefanski, great job, tremendous job. Again, it's not like he inherited a fucking dead dog and he took it. Let's not forget Baker Mayfield was the number 1 pick in the draft. Myles Garrett, number 1 pick in the draft. Anyways. So
never mind the running backs and their wide receivers.
Right. To boot. Well, what's his name was hurt most of the season, but that's fine. And then that starting left tackle who just got arrested for drag racing, by the way. A lot of good things going on. I lost my train of thought, but yeah. The game ball. So Stefanski gives the game ball to the right guard or whoever it is who's been on the team for 12 years, and it turns out now they both have COVID. Thanks, coach. Thanks, bro.
He handed him a ball full of COVID.
I'm playing football. I'm 435 and playing football for literally, 28 years. I don't need a fucking game ball. Thanks, dude. I don't need no fucking pandemic. Appreciate it, coach.
Did you lick the ball before you handed it to me, motherfucker?
All right, stop eating on the shit.
All right, so they're in the playoffs. There was a few others that little shocking or something like that, but we'll see. The Colts needed to win. They pulled it out against the Jaguars, but somehow we ended up getting a push there. The stupid Titans let the Texans get back in the game. I don't know how that happened, but I don't know. That's about that. But I've been noticing something, Webb, in the NFL, dude, and in college football, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've been noticing it for a couple of years now, and I feel like bringing it up because I want you to watch for it in the playoffs. Okay. The referees, it's different now. When we were growing up, it was always called the game of inches, right? The game of inches. And so every time they spotted the ball, where the ball went down at, whether it was in the middle of a yard line or
is football a game of inches or a baseball game or all games? Are they all games?
I think all games are a game of inches.
Right.
But
for
they would spot the ball wherever they spot the ball. I want you to watch this. There's never a measurement anymore because they start out, no matter where the guy's down at, they started out on the line. He could be halfway in.
Left foot, right foot. I mean, that's the old John Madden thing, like left foot, right foot bullshit.
Not anymore. They end up spotting it on the line. That's why the dudes can make the spot and go like this right at the time, because they know the guy's got to get to the yard line. And my issue with it is when the dude's spotting the ball, he knows it's his first down or not just by where he's putting the ball. I want you to watch for this. I want everybody to watch for this from now on.
What's your point? I don't understand.
I don't like the way they're spotting the balls these days.
They're going to say first down or not.
But they don't even measure. They don't have to. And now the ref, instead of saying the ball is there, put it there, and then you have a measurement, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing by if he puts it at the line or behind it. He knows what he's doing.
Well, are you saying that they never come short, or what are you saying? I don't get it.
No, but what I'm saying is he knows that the line is always right there. There's never a measurement. Nobody ever measures anymore. There's no
they don't pull them out they don't bring the chain onto the field.
They know that the line is the line.
So who cares?
Because it's you're giving or taking away a half a yards all the time. And the guy's making the spot. I might not be verbalizing this properly. Right. But I'm going to start now when we're watching the game together. I'm going to say, see what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm going to say.
I'll check it out.
I want everybody at home to watch. There will never be a spot where where the first down is in between. Used to be like sometimes the chains would go and it'd be in between. Like they would used to say, oh, it's a long 2 or something like a long 3 yards. That's not a thing anymore. They spot the ball on the line all the time, every time. It's not.
They put it on a hash mark. You're saying they don't spot it in between or whatever.
Right. They spot it on the yard line every time.
Right. Okay. All right.
And that way, when the guy comes up to spot the ball, it's 3rd and 5. The guy comes up to spot the ball.
He's got him. So
he knows exactly whether he's spotting a first down or not.
I got you. I understand what you're saying now.
There's no in between where like he spots it in between the 2 yard. If he spots it in between the two, he knows he's not giving him the first down.
Half yard line. There's 1.5. There's either the 1 yard line, the 2 yard line, the 3 yard line.
Sometimes near the goal line, they do spot it. Like they do spot it in halves.
5 to 50, 46, 47.
Right. So anyway, I want to keep an eye on that. I've been noticing it. It's bothering me. And I don't like that the refs know when they're coming in. And that's why they get such quick. Sometimes you're like, damn, that was close. And the guy runs out and goes, first down. It's because they know that the fucking line is on the fucking line. I don't know. I'm gonna start pointing it out to you, and you say, oh, that's what Smith's talking about on there.
I understand it now. I don't know if I ever noticed, but maybe.
All right. I don't know. I didn't really verbalize that. Sometimes I write down notes in the middle of the week, Webb, and I'm fired up about it. And then by the time we get to Wednesday night, I'm like,
all season? Is that what you're saying? Haven't like the chain links is hooked up and then it's suddenly a down, or not a first down, rather. You know what I mean? Sometimes when they pull the chains onto the field. Sometime when they pull the chains onto the field, it's like a link. They got to turn the link a little bit, and it's like an extra 1.5 inches. And it's
have to do that anymore.
Right. Well, we haven't seen that all year. It's why my question is, we haven't seen that. We haven't seen a chain. We haven't seen a chain gang, whatever you want to call them, on the field.
See how little it happens. See how little compared to where we used to get to be like, hey, he asked for a measurement. Hold on a second, we're gonna get a measurement, and the guy would have to jump over the chain. That never fucking happens anymore.
Right. They bring him out onto the middle of the field.
They have a little marker on the line, and then they stretch out the chain. That shit never happens anymore. They spot the ball on the line, and then when they're marking it at the end,
or speeding up the game type thing. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, now, but I get what you're saying at least.
And I think even like when they tackle him on say a kickoff and say it's in between the 22 and 23, they'll put it on the 22, no matter what, every time, just to make it easier on the whole situation.
Right. It's rounded up. Right. It's right. You're rounding up to the yard line.
Yeah, whatever. So anyway, let's get into some picks, Webb. We got 6 games in NFL. Let's start with the college football game. That's Monday night. That'll be easy. We can knock that out real quick.
This is easy. Alabama's going to win and cover. To me, it's really not a matter of, it's if or just, I mean, let me check the line here. My phone's acting up. It was 7.5. That's a big half, but I'm thinking maybe it's not going to be. Alabama's going to come out there saying Waddle may end up playing. The other receiver. Oh, I got 8 here. Sorry.
Yeah,
8-75. That's an obscene over. I'm betting Alabama minus the 8.
Me too. I know Ohio State looked great, and this is one of the things I was concerned about last week when we were talking about the Ohio State Clemson was what happens if Ohio State just comes back and they finally are all healthy, they're all ready to go, and they're all, for the first time ever, they're ready. And man, that's kind of what happened. And they had some bulletin board material from Dabo, and they really came to play. But I think Alabama, but interesting, Webb, Ohio State can have a little bit of bulletin board material again this week with Nick Saban's daughter, of all people.
So funny.
Ohio State has been, I guess, talking some stuff about COVID again and maybe needing to push back the games. The head of the NCAA said this game will not be pushed back. It's going to be on the Monday night.
Oh, right. Stop. Right. Enough. Well, first of all, fuck you, Ohio State. Enough. All right, we stuck up for you. I stuck up for you at least. That this fucking, eye test. You deserve to be there. You proved that you should put a shellacking on. One of the great, to do. I think, I don't know how many losses did Trevor Lawrence have. I think 2.
Yeah, right.
In his college career. So just shut the fuck up, please. Let's
just go play, lose if you want to. Don't
right. At some point, step up to the table and stop with the nonsense.
Right.
Okay.
So
we're talking about Alabama missing to get Jalen Waddle, who's going to be a top 15 pick. I don't know when did he last? How many games did he play? 2. So just shut up. Just shut up.
Which so it's the funniest of all. So Nick Saban's daughter takes to Twitter and saying, "Man, fucking Ohio State's a bunch of this is bullshit. This is all about resting players and being scared to play and needing extra time off."
Clearly.
So, and Nick Saban's no nonsense about this shit. Probably wasn't real pleasant to be at home.
He walked in. It's like, you fucking kidding me? This is, I got to deal with these assholes right now. I got to answer questions about you.
I can only imagine what was going on at the house.
No doubt.
So, all right, we definitely like Alabama. Any thoughts on the over is a whopping Webb 75?
I mean, when I look at it, I'm going to say under, but then, I mean, what Bama score against last 49. Game against
49?
Well, if you look at it like that, you're gonna tell me that Ohio State can't score 21, 24, whatever it is, 20, 25. I mean, so I'm not going to touch it. I feel good about Alabama. I wasn't really concerned. If it was 7.5, I would definitely buy it to 7, obviously. Right. But 8, I'm not really concerned about. I think they're going to come out and just kind of. It may be close for a minute, a half, but once we get, once we're that 7-minute mark in the third quarter, you're going to start to see them pull away a little bit, something like that. But
I think so too. And we don't have to worry this time about covering 20 or something ridiculous like that.
Right. Exactly.
You give me against anybody in the world, you give me Alabama -8 all year long, I'm taking them.
Especially in this exact scenario where they're kind of, the other team is kind of whining. And, it's been a fucked up year, and Saban needs any excuse just to come out here and fucking hang it 60 on these dudes.
All right, so that's the easy one. We both completely agree on Bama. I might even consider the under when we get a little closer to them, but we'll see how it goes. So let's get right into the NFL, Webb. Saturday, early, noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern time, the Colts travel to the Bills. I like this one. I can tell you who I like in that.
Kudos, first of all, on the NFL. This is tremendous. 3 games on Saturday. I don't know, man. I may go the other way here on you on this one.
Well, I'm liking the Bills. I know we like the Colts a lot this year. I like the Bills. I think they are chugging at full force right now. I think Phillip Rivers cannot go toe-to-toe with Allen. I know it's a defense against an offense. It's 2 different things. But I like the Bills in this. But if you think differently, we can discuss.
I'm going total double contrarian on this. I like plus 7 points. The Colts at 6.5 I have here, but I'd buy it to 7. And I think under 51. I know what the Colts did last week against a very, very good Miami defense. That was then. This is now. That Bills Mafia or whatever. It was a whole big thing up here, Smith. That's what's his name? Cuomo is allowing fans in.
Oh, right.
Come on. I mean, we have so much. They're storming the Capitol, and we're worried about there's going to be fucking fans at a Buffalo Bills play. That's the whole problem. Again, I'm getting off track. I like the Colts. I'm doing a little contrarian here, but typically I jump on the Bills. This is not a saying I don't like the Bills. I think the Bills probably win, but 7 points at this point. Josh Allen, great season. This is the limelight is on. The pressure is jacked. I mean, it's to me, it's a prove it to me game. So, and I'm thinking that both defenses play better. You know, you're gonna. My guess, you'd be a little surprised early on at the lack of scoring in this game.
All right. Well, you saying you like the under in that one as well.
I like the Colts +7, not 6.5, and the under 51.
All right, we might have to come. I'm cool with going with the under. We might have to come back and
let's see.
And discuss that. And then moving on, the afternoon game, Webb, the Rams go to the Seahawks.
This is a tough one here too. 3.5, Seattle 3.5 and 42.5. Looks like McVay's playing some little funky games with he doesn't want to name who the quarterback is. I don't like either quarterback. The Rams to me are just wildly inconsistent. I don't know. This is a big half point. If this was 3 points, I'd be all over Seattle. And I could certainly buy it. It's going to cost us some money. I like Seattle. I like Seattle -3.
All right, I'm cool with that. I can go. Any thoughts on the
42.5? I'm on the top of that. I think.
Yeah,
I'm on the. That's way low.
I mean, it's NFL.
NFL. Right. I mean, I'm on the over on that. They're both going to get to 21. I mean, 24. I mean, if you're at 24-17, you're right there. So I would go over secondary, but I like the Rams and I will buy it to 3.
You like the Rams or the Seahawks?
Excuse me, Seahawks. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, going in Saturday night, the Buccaneers go to Tampa Bay.
That's another one.
Buccaneers go to Washington.
Yes, Bucks -8 and 45. The Bucks have been up and down. I think we success and some losses. A lot of it is based on reputation. I think they haven't really ever put together the game that we were like, that's the game, or they haven't put 2 or 3 games together. More accurately, probably. Now, if I think 8 points is too much. I think the defense is better. What's his name is not playing. Devin Bush. Is that the Devin Bush, right? He's out. He's got COVID or COVID protocols. I don't know what's going. Mike Evans, I think, is a little banged up. It is definitely when I looked at these games too, I knew this was going to be an issue. But I like plus. I do. I think that's a number 40. I'm not sure where to go with that. I would probably actually, believe it or not, I would go under the 45.
Okay. Well, you're gonna take points. I'll go with you with taking points. I mean,
we can split it. You want to go? You want to take the Bucks? I'll take the Bucks if you give me the
Colts.
The Colts. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll just assume we'll go with both dogs if we're gonna go. I'll you know what I mean? Hope for a split. Something. But I don't disagree with the Washington pick. I think it's going against. I don't know.
If not, we're taking all 3 favorites, and they ain't going 3-0. I'll tell you that.
Yep. Well, let's do it. Colts, Seahawks, and Washington.
I mean, have the Bucks. When's the last time you were like, "Damn, the Bucks? They did it. They really did it." Have we said that? Maybe we said it once.
Well, they won last week, 44-27. They won the week before, 47-7.
Who did they beat last?
Nobody's, but who was Washington?
Well, I mean, they got a good defensive. They
beat Minnesota by 12. They lost to Kansas City by 3. Their last loss was on the 29th of November, and they lost by 3 to Kansas City.
I'm not saying they're going to lose.
But I could see that defensive line giving Tampa Bay all kinds of fits.
So they're up 20-21, or they're up 14 or whatever. and with a couple minutes to go. And I mean, now let me put a caveat on this. I'm counting on Alex Smith being the quarterback here.
All right. And I'll tell you what. I feel pretty strongly about some games on Sunday. I don't feel that strong. There's nothing I've done lately that would make me feel strong about anything. So I'll gladly take the Colts and the Washington and under Colts, Seattle, and over Seattle. How about that?
All right. But now, listen, if we get to Sunday morning and it's whatever the Heineke or whatever the name is, that we're but the number's not going to be 8 at that point. You're not going to get
Saturday night. Right.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Yeah. If
right.
It's 7, if it comes 6 o'clock Saturday or what, halftime of that of the Rams in Seattle, it comes in that
Alex
what's
Smith
his name? Alex can't go. Then
right.
we're not doing.
Then get away. Get away. That's what we're telling you.
Correct.
All right, let's move to Sunday, Webb. I really like this. Might be against what you think, but I really like the Sunday early pick. Is the Ravens go to the Titans, and the Ravens are favored by 3.5.
So what do you like there?
I love the Titans.
I'm all over it. Love it.
They beat their ass in the playoffs last year. And
Lamar Jackson, you heard it here first last summer, and you're hearing it again now. The dream is over. The Titans will win. They're going to win. This is a backward spread. The Titans should be 3.5. Titans should be favored by 3.
Webb, I could not believe this line when I saw it. I could not believe it. Couldn't believe it.
I mean, again, coming off our most recent history, maybe we're
maybe we're the ones.
But I'm all over the right. And I will be buying it to 4. I'm not going to mess with the total. I do like the over. I mean, it'd be 54. That's pretty high, but I'm more than happy just to lay it on the Titans and kick back and watch.
All right, and moving on, I might surprise you in this one, Webb. The Bears are getting 10 from the Saints.
I love the Bears.
I love the Bears too. Bears plus 10 all day.
Easy. And I don't know about 47. I mean, I would go over probably too. But there's no need to mess around. The 10 points is, I don't know. I don't get it either.
Right. I mean, I get people are high on the Saints, but the Bears have played much better with now that they put the boy Mitch back in the game.
And what's his name? The defensive guy, Akins, or one of the defensive I don't know if he's one or two defensive in the middle is back, and that's
because he played for the Saints. He played for the Saints for a few years before he went there.
He was real good, and they missed him, and he's back. And this is just 10 points at this point. Is that's a shit ton, I think.
Yep. Yeah, I like that. And the Saints could easily, even if they jump out all over them, could easily get the backdoor, give the backdoor up late in the game.
Not a problem. Yep, love it.
All right, we talked a little bit about this. Steelers now going back home, full strength after Big Ben got a week off. The Browns are going to have all kinds of issues. The Browns needed everything they could to win by 2 against the Steelers backups last week. TJ Watt didn't play. Big Ben didn't play. Whole bunch of dudes didn't play. And this is under a touchdown point spread on this one.
This is a big. There's a lot of things going against Cleveland here. They climbed to the top of the mountain here. They've
won their Super Bowl. They've won their Super Bowl. They got the playoffs.
That was last week to beat the Steelers. Regardless, I mean, me and you could have been suiting up for the Steelers. Didn't matter. We had a Pittsburgh uniform on, and that win got them to the playoffs. Now you add COVID, and then the fact that they're going. Steelers win this game handily. This is a layup. I think I got 6.5 here. My phone just shut off. 6. This is a lock. I mean, put it in now.
Yep.
Because it's going up.
So we like Sunday easy. We like the Titans, Bears, and Steelers.
And I don't mind the over in that 47 either. 47.5 in that Steeler game. Steelers are going to score, first of all. And then it's good. The Browns are maybe a couple, late touchdowns or something like that. Maybe 14 fourth quarter points from the Browns to still lose by 10 or some shit.
All right. Are we going over in the Saints game too, or just leaving with the Bears?
I mean, I'll leave that up to you. I'm real secure with the Bears. So if you want to go,
we'll just leave it at the games we like. So here's what we got for Sunday. For Saturday, we got the Colts, under Colts, Seattle.
I want to caveat there, Colts plus 7.
Right. Colts +7. Under Colts, Seattle, over Seattle and Washington.
Seattle -3.
Yep. And then on Sunday.
Wait. Another caveat. Washington with Alex Smith.
Yes. Make sure you get all of our caveats.
Right. Well, again, I'm going to.
No, it makes a difference. This is only Wednesday. People, this is only Wednesday. You got to listen, pay attention. And once again, if you got any questions, email us. Send us a message on Facebook, Twitter, whatever.
Absolutely. And like I said, if you see these numbers jump, I mean, if you see the Colts hit 7.5, blow it out. If you see right now, I'm telling you that the Steelers is going to go up. Bet the Steelers now.
All right, fair enough. And then on Sunday, we got the Titans, the Bears, and the Steelers, and the over Steelers.
I'd probably bet the Titans now too, because it's not going to go higher than 3.5. It's probably going to go down. And the Bears Saints, that might fluctuate. I mean, I'd love to see a 10.5, but I doubt it. It's probably going to even out those money. But I would jump on the Titans now, and I would jump on the Steelers now.
Yep,
that's what I would say.
Titans, Bears, Steelers, and over Steelers. That's what we got for those games. So that's probably a wrap for this week.
I think so.
And then we got playoff games next week. We'll be back with you. We're working on stuff. I want to thank Nick Perrone and MN3 Technologies, Wilbur Investigations, John Grow with the bumper music, C. Reilly and Lil Saint the Goat with their bumper music. All the platforms we're on. Devin's going to tell you about YouTube right now.
Hey guys, it's Devin. Make sure you subscribe to the Wager Makers podcast on YouTube, like all their videos, and click that bell so that you turn on your post notifications and you never miss another video.
Thanks, Devin. You can check our picks on Sports Watch Monitor. Check us out on Facebook at The Wager Maker Podcast, Twitter at The Wager Makers, Instagram at The Wager Makers, TheWagerMakers@gmail.com. And hey, tell some people, man, let's get this shit going. We're going to work on some things this week and try and get us going live one day for a live show one day soon where you guys can ask us questions during the show.
Man.
Thank you all for listening. Tell some people. Webb, take us out.
Brick by brick, baby. We're back. Don't lose faith. We got some winners coming here for you. Very strong week this week. Check us out on Sports Watch Monitor. We are heating up in the NBA. We're starting to figure that out a little bit. And we are doing our thing in college basketball. So tell a friend, and thanks for listening.
Welcome to the Wager Makers Podcast with Web and Smitt.
Yeah. Hey, shout out Wager Maker Podcast.
Brick by brick, baby.
Yeah.
Here comes the Wager Maker
Here I go.
Express.
I hear y'all sick of losing money cause y'all don't know how to bet. Better hit that Wager Maker Podcast with Smitt and Webb. They gon' show y'all how to do this. Take these notes like y'all some students. Y'all can't seem to pick them right. Well, tonight y'all lucky night. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. Wager Maker Podcast. Wager Maker Podcast. Your bookie getting sick cause we built this brick by brick. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. Come and place your bets with that WM Express. Let's go.